Hello and welcome to our weekly news programme Winchester Now. I'm Mary Blaxland. On today's programme, remembering those caught up in the war in Ukraine 2 years on. We hear about the charity that's changed the lives of more than 500 homeless people. And sounding good, musicians, singers and poets join together to showcase their skills. Winchester Radio. The second anniversary of the war in Ukraine is being remembered at a special event in Winchester. The commemoration day has been organised by the Winchester Ukrainian Cultural Society and will take place at the Ark between 1 and 4 on Saturday. It aims to highlight the culture and fortitude of Ukraine, with some of those who came to our city to flee the war sharing their stories. Among them is Helen Popova, who spoke to Winchester Now.
It's very important for us to remember the fallen, the sacrifice Ukraine suffered in this war. One of our aims is to make people remember that the war is still going on.
Tell me a bit about your experiences. What was life like for you 2 years ago?
So we came here not on our, so to say, will. We had to come to the UK, but I think these 2 years were the time of us and me in particular trying to integrate into English society and into Winchester community. So 2 churches in Winchester hosted Ukrainians and had meetups, United Church and St. Peter's Church, and Hope Church, which arranges All Nations Cafe every Monday. So we are very thankful to these churches and charity organizations which help us integrate into Winchester community. But of course, not everything is easy. Many Ukrainians face the difficulty trying to find employment and accommodation. Many of Ukrainians were lucky to be hosted by local people, by hosts, but it didn't last long, for half a year, in some cases for over a year. But then people have to find their own accommodation, either let it be social housing or private housing with private landlords.
It must have been tough times for a lot of people.
Right, it is easy, but we are ready to explore British reality and explore cultural codes. And as one of the representatives of Winchester City Council said, that Ukrainian community really became a pivotal part of Winchester community, because Ukrainians are very active, are ready to respond to new challenges. Kalina Choir was set up here, consisting of Ukrainian ladies and children's choir. So we arranged a set of concerts in Winchester and around it, and I am happy to be part of this choir.
It must be heartbreaking for you to see what's happening back in your home country.
Unfortunately, the situation is not getting better. It is getting worse and worse.
What are your thoughts when you see what's going on? You must have lost so much.
Mm-hmm. Of course, sad thoughts and pain and worry about what is happening in our homeland.
And tell me a bit about the event that's happening on Saturday. You're going to be talking yourself about your thoughts and feelings.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it will be a great event, and it will be a feature aimed at fortitude and heroism of Ukrainian people. So we will not focus on Russian invasion, but more on resilience of Ukrainian people. The program will consist of 3 parts. Each part will start at 1, 2 or 3. Those who come can drop in and out. They are free to stay as long as they like. Each part will consist of life story of those who had to flee the country, of their experience, and their stories will be accompanied by PowerPoint presentation with slides and videos. So it will make their stories even more touching and moving. There will be a lot of singing and musical performers. I also will present my story. It is called Refugee Story, and it will be my artistic response to what happened in Ukraine, to the war, actually.
Will it be difficult for you to tell that story? Is it going to be a difficult day?
Yes, it is going to be a difficult day, but I have told my story so many times, but I think it's time for me to get used to these feelings. I spent nearly a month in besieged Mariupol. Mariupol is a city in the south of Ukraine, which was the first city completely wiped off the earth. It is a 500,000 populated city, and it is surprising and unbelievable that such a place could be destroyed. I spent a month there where there was no electricity, no internet, no water supply, no gas, and people had to hide in shelters or in the basement of their houses. They went through hell. And finally, I was lucky to escape in a private car, because there were no evacuation corridors, no evacuation vehicles. And then when I landed in the Ukrainian-controlled territory, I received several invitations, so to say, to go to my friends in Russia, which was impossible, and to go to the UK. I received this invitation from an English person who used to work in my place, and I accepted this invitation.
And do you feel you're welcomed here? You feel?
Yes, I feel cared for by many people and welcomed.
And you want people to remember next Saturday. It's important, isn't it, like you say, for people to remember?
Yes, it's very important to keep the memories of all that was happening and is happening in Ukraine.
Helen Popova talking to Winchester Radio. And the event at the Ark will be followed on Saturday by a candlelit vigil for Ukraine in the Abbey Gardens. It starts at 6 p.m.
Winchester Radio.
A Winchester charity has helped more than 500 homeless people since it was set up in 2009. Emmaus provides a community where people have a home, a place of work and a chance to build a future. It marks its 15th anniversary next month. I spoke to Nigel Samuels, Chief Executive of Emmaus Hampshire.
Emmaus Hampshire is a unique solution to homelessness within the county. It allows people to come here who are homeless, and they can live here, but also they can work here. And the idea is that their work generates the income to allow them to stay here and live a very happy life within the community.
How long can they stay here for?
They can stay here indefinitely. There is absolutely no time frame. They can live as long as they wish within this environment. But many of them, on average, will stay about 3 years. But some will stay longer. And some of them sort of like big family as part of a community.
And how much is there a demand for something like this? How busy are you?
We are normally 100% occupied. We have up to the ability to serve 40 people at any one time. We have accommodation here on site for 37 rooms, and we have 3 rooms off-site.
And what do people say to you about being here?
They enjoy being empowered and have the responsibility to look after themselves within their own home. The companions, as we call them, our residents, they have each their own individual room with their own ensuite. They have their own TV and their own computer, and they're treated much like anybody else would want to be treated in independent living. They have their own garden, they cook for themselves as a team, and they run the operation on a day-to-day basis.
Some of them must have come from some pretty tough, some pretty tricky backgrounds.
There's a huge array of different reasons why people come to a homeless community. The assumption always is it's drink or drug related, but that's not necessarily the case. 22% of people currently have mental health challenges. There's also a large group of people who have broken relationships and lose their homes because of it. So there's a whole wide reasons why people come to a community like ours.
And do you help them rebuild their lives so that they can then move on?
Absolutely. We have a 3-stage programme that allows them to progress back with us. The first thing, the most important thing, is to make sure they are fed, they feel warm, they feel safe and comfortable, and they can build relationships with other members of the community. We then start looking at giving them counselling services if that's required, addiction services if that's what they need. Sometimes it's financial problems that they've been in. And so whatever the problems are that they have had over the period of time of their life before they've joined us, we try to resolve those problems. Because once we've been able to do that, they're much in a better shape to be able to move on. And at that point, we then start giving them development training and start to discover what may help them get back out into the real world of independent living and help them with career development.
What sort of things do people move on to? You must have seen some nice stories.
We've got people who have been carpenters, Our most recent success is a young man who is now a gas engineer, and that's a substantial salary in this day and age. He's now back living independently with his wife after 18 months of separation. So he has a good job, he's back at home, and his life is back in order. So that's a real success story. We have quite a few who go to become van drivers. As we probably know, with the existence of Amazon and the rest, there is a lot of need for what we call, the van crews. And we do training on vans for our guys, and they've been getting jobs, and that's quite a substantial salary these days. And again, it's enough money that they can live independently. Minimum wage is not enough, so we try and focus their job on a full-time job with a salary that you can live in Hampshire.
And is it success for everybody, or are there some people who struggle to start again?
Some people struggle, but most people, because they join, they want to succeed. They've got to the stage in life where they know coming to our community means that they are going to have to get up every day, they are going to have to work, they are going to have to communicate with their fellow companions, and there is a desire to succeed. So we are halfway there, once we've been able to eradicate their problems that they came with and help move them forward.
And what for the future of the organisation?
Well, the organisation has been very successful in the last 6-7 years in growing the support it can provide its companions. We have now built a repair shop in our garden with lots of significant machinery, so people do not just have to be working in retail anymore, they can work in our repair shop. We built a recycling centre where they strip all the products and sell the copper and the metal and the aluminium, which is part of our recycling credentials. We have got catering training. We've had a chef from the Ivy training our companions in the kitchen, and so they're now becoming much more proficient in doing that as well. So there's lots of different career opportunities here on site that they can operate. So that's all been very successful.
And 15 years this year, you must be proud of everything you've achieved.
That is very successful, and we are very proud, and we're proud and grateful for the trustees and the supporters who started this 15 years ago. A significant amount of money was raised to build this site, over £3 million. A lot of that came from the local community in Winchester, Hampshire, and we'll never forget that support. We're still very, very grateful for that. We enjoy still seeing them come to our garden parties and our annual celebrations, and we're very keen to maintain those relationships. So yes, it's been very successful, but it's because of a lot of people.
And is there more that people can do locally to help if people are listening to this today?
The things that they can do is obviously donate products, furniture and homewares to us, as we can make money out of that to maintain the project. And we're very grateful for anybody who wants to volunteer. If you've got skills and like to coach and support our companions, be it in the repair shop, in the recycling centre, on the vans, or any other particular management skills that you have, we'll always be very grateful. We are currently recruiting, and we're looking to double the size of our volunteer base.
Now for some of the news stories from around our city this week, I'm Ron Venturi. Building work is to begin on a new elective hub at the Royal Hampshire County Hospital in Winchester after plans were approved by the Foundation Trust last week. Managers say the new hub will deliver an extra 2,400 procedures each year, such as hip or knee replacements, and will operate 6 days a week. It's hoped it will also help reduce waiting lists across Hampshire. The building work for the hub will involve refurbishing a floor within the Burrell Wing to create 2 theatres and inpatient facilities. It's due to open in April 2025. Staying with hospital news, and junior doctors are beginning a 5-day strike starting on Saturday. It's the latest action in the ongoing dispute over pay. Many routine hospital services are likely to be disrupted or cancelled, and patients are again being urged to use A&E only in a medical or mental health emergency. And TV comedy star Hugh Dennis is taking on a new role as the Chancellor of the University of Winchester. The actor, best known for shows like Outnumbered and Mock the Week, succeeds TV gardener and writer Alan Titchmarsh, who served as Chancellor for 6 years. The Chancellor is the honorary head of the university and presides over high-profile events such as graduation. Hugh has close ties to Winchester. His father lived in the city and was an honorary assistant bishop in the diocese.
Hi, Paul Blitz here again, and it's time for this week's shout-outs. Let's give our first shout-out to a group of volunteers called the Fab Five, who've been working on the Watercress line for a combined total of more than 250 years. Long service certificates were presented to dedicated railway volunteers Brian Laws, Mark Walden, Steve Hayden, Chris Lacorney and Jim Russell at their annual general meeting this month. They were thanked for their tireless work, each giving 50 years or more to the charity. They're all part of a team of 450 volunteers who keep this much-loved heritage railway running. Thanks have been given to 2 Winchester care homes who joined forces to fundraise for the Boaz project in Sutton, Scotland. The charity provides a therapeutic work community for adults with learning disabilities. Abbey Gardens Care Home and St Catherine's View in Stanmore raised more than £3,000 with a variety of events and held a special cheque presentation. Special thanks have been given to mental health nurses this week as we marked Mental Health Nurses Day. Southern Health NHS Foundation Trust gave a big shout out to them, with the Director of Nursing praising nurses for their interpersonal skills, empathy and bringing hope and kindness to people in the most difficult circumstances. A gift exchange in Winchester has raised £1,800 for the Winchester Hospice. It was organised by the Three Saints Benefice St Lawrence Church in the city centre. The initiative aimed to reduce waste from unwanted Christmas presents while supporting a local charity chosen by parishioners. Everyone brought a gift and for a donation took home another person's unwanted treasure. This event has been held each year for the last 4 years. Over 50 people from the churches of St Bartholomew's, St Lawrence and St Swithin-upon Kingsgate churches attended and helped to raise the brilliant sum. I'll have more shout-outs for you next week. In the meantime, it's back to Mary.
Winchester Radio.
Crowds flocked to the launch of Sound Winchester last weekend, a new community project to celebrate music and voice activities in Winchester. It aims to highlight the opportunities in and around the city and encourage more people to get involved. It's also leading up to the first Winchester Community Music Festival in June. I spoke to coordinator Peter Brown from Winnell Rock School and some of the many local organisations taking part.
Today we have got the launch event of this thing that we've created called Sound Winchester, where we are trying to encourage and build the rich musical diversity in Winchester and to get more people involved in it. Just enjoying music, but also we hope that we'll promote their well-being through getting involved.
It's Gary Monday from Swan Samba and Roynon Music, and we're a community-based drum and movement band. Also offer workshops in schools and businesses.
And what do you think about Sound Winchester? What do you think about this idea?
Oh, it's a great idea. I mean, the main thing we're looking to do in our band is bring the community together, so it's a bigger form of that, really. So we were very excited to be a part of it.
And how popular is this?
So for Samba, it's played all across the world, all sorts of styles. We do a fusion of different genres across Brazil and beyond, and it is growing. We have only been around for 5 odd years, and it's steadily growing. So others are welcome.
And you've had a good reception here today. Lots of crowds watching outside the library.
It was lovely. Yeah, really nice vibe, nice energy. It's all of what we're about. We use our drumming to lift mental and physical health, and this is exactly what we want. So all good.
Hello, I'm Mary O'Brien and I'm running what used to be called the Winchester Fusion Choir, and it's now called the Amazing Fusion Choir. And we've been here at the Ark and we've been doing half an hour of singing with the community, and it's been such fun. There's so much talent and skill and beauty and sound and music and fun and song in Winchester. And how do you find out about it? And Sound Winchester are trying to be the umbrella that will enable you to find out about what's happening in Winchester.
And it's good for people to learn about more, to get involved, because singing is so good for people, isn't it?
Well, singing is medicine. Sound is medicine. We are beginning to understand that more than we ever did. I mean, the ancients understood this, People sing when they're under pressure. We sing because we love singing. And lots of people come to the choir who say to me, I can't sing. And I say, you're perfect for us. Because as soon as you come to us, you will want to sing. We're really keen to get the whole community singing or humming, just making a sound. So we're happy to be part of that whole experience.
Tell me a bit about some of the groups that you've got here today.
We've got the Winchester Camerata, a string orchestra, who've just been talking about the importance of having a conductor for an orchestra. It was really interesting. We've just had Sound Therapy Hampshire doing some things with enchanted instruments and soundings. We've had the Poetry Festival doing poetry readings in there today. We've had a fusion choir, they're just about to start. There's just a whole range of things. It's really quite exciting.
And a lot of people have come along, haven't they, to join in?
It looks as though, we had no idea as to how many people would come in, but it looks as though everywhere has got an audience to talk to, which is great.
My name's Claire Fawcett and I'm at the Winchester Sound launch event today. I've just been into the Winchester Camerata workshop to become an orchestra conductor. I am a musician myself and I've always wanted to pick up the stick and give it a wag, but been a bit afraid to. So Andrew, the leader of the orchestra today, has let me loose with a stick and it was great. I really enjoyed it. So I'm in town today looking at a lot of the music events and I'll be back in June for the other event that they're running.
Because I am not a robot, I can read your traffic light eyes. Because I am not a robot, I can see fire hydrants on standby.
Hello, my name is Amy and I'm the festival manager at Winchester Poetry Festival.
So tell me a bit about Winchester Poetry Festival, what you do, what you're all about.
Winchester Poetry Festival is a registered charity. We put on a biennial festival celebrating poetry within Winchester and bringing in poets from around the world. The last festival that we had was in October 2023, which means the next big full festival is in 2025. But this year, on Saturday the 5th of October 2024, we have a one-day poetry day here at the Ark in Winchester.
Because I am not a robot, I can never guess your passwords, but I can sense every possible outcome.
I love the idea of Sound Winchester. I think Winchester has so much to offer in terms of musical organisations, in terms of teaching. We also have an incredible live music venue, the Railway Inn, that has live music pretty much every night of the week. Touring bands, local bands, and also hosts a poetry open mic there as well. But yeah, there's so much going on in Winchester. It's a really lovely opportunity that Sound Winchester are providing to connect everybody and celebrate what we have.
I'm Andy Martin and I run the Winchester Uke Jam and Ukes for All, which teaches ukuleles, and I run the Winchester Ukulele Festival.
And how popular is the ukulele at the moment?
It's getting more and more popular. We thought there might have been a bit of a dip and then people have had enough of it, but it's not true. People are coming back all the time. And my classes are getting bigger and bigger. Every time we do a new session, we do 3 sessions a year. They then go through the beginners classes and then join. We have a big improvers groups. Some of them go off and do their own thing and some of them stay with the groups, and it's great, brilliant.
And what's it like being able to show off what you do here at Sound Winchester?
Oh, it's been marvellous. I've been in it right from the start. I came to the first meeting, so had a bit of a hand in it as well. It's really, really good. There's so many people coming here and it's such a good idea. People are looking to do collaborations and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, it's really good. Puts us on the map a bit, because not everybody knows what's going on in Winchester. That's, it's sort of hidden away a lot of the stuff.
And do you think this will encourage more people to get involved in what you do in the ukulele?
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah, it'd be really nice if they did, because it's just such good fun. My demographic tends to be sort of over 50s really, because I do lessons during the day, so that suits them. There are many of them maybe have retired and don't know what to do with themselves. Many of them have a bucket list. I need to learn a musical instrument. And of course many of them are in that stage of life where they've either been widowed or bereaved in some way and are on their own, and so suddenly there's a whole group of people that will take them in and go, come on, let's do this together and have some fun. And it's really good for your well-being. The endorphins fire up. Everybody smiles.
Peter, all of this is leading up to a big event on the 21st of June, isn't it?
Yeah, so 21st of June is Make Music Day. We're hoping that this year Winchester can really put itself on the map in respect of holding a really spectacular Make Music Day set of events. It's down to everyone who's got a link in with the music scene to create an event to put forward. Rock School, I hope that we will be doing some things with our young people in terms of making music. The Camerata have just been sort of saying that they might do something in terms of an opportunity for people to learn how to conduct an orchestra. The Fusion Choir will do things. I'm hoping there'll be lots of collaborations of unusual groupings of people. Who knows? The sky's the limit, and everyone is invited to contribute their own ideas to get involved.
Peter Brown ending our report on the Sound Winchester launch event, and you can find out more by visiting the website soundwinchester.org.uk. Finally today, a huge congratulations to Marina Cornwall, a local powerlifter and personal trainer, who has won 4 gold medals and beaten 3 records at the European Classic Masters Powerlifting Championships in Spain. And Marina turned 70 the day before the championships began. She's been powerlifting for more than a decade and works as a personal trainer at the Winchester Sports and Leisure Park. Staff there say they are incredibly proud of Marina, that she inspires others and is proof that you can reach your goals no matter your age. Well done to her, and that's it for this week's Winchester Now. Many thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening to Winchester Now, a weekly roundup of stories from Winchester Radio. If you have a story to share with us, please let us know. You can drop us an email. We're news@winchester.radio, and you can follow us on social media. Just search for Winchester Radio.
Winchester Radio.